Hello guys, welcome to Python and Machine Learning Daily. Today I want to read to you another tutorial that we released on our website pythonmldaily.com. Quite often we'll release a text-based tutorial and then I read that on YouTube because it's beneficial to have both versions. Some of you prefer text tutorials, some videos. So topic of today is collections module in Python. So on top of default data types of Python like lists, sets, tuples, and dictionaries, you can have additional behavior, additional functionality with collection class or collection library module with its classes to make your code a bit shorter. And we have these 4 classes to discuss in this lesson. For example, counter. Imagine that you need to count males and females in this dataset. So first we have a separate function called dataset listing just column values into a simple Python list like data. And then we have a simple Python function to count that manually, count male or female records like this. And this is how you would call that. But with collections, there's a specific counter class which you can initialize with your dataset and just call the method called mostCommon. So see how shorter it is. We can do the same with dataset 3, which would give us most common values for professions, and also we can limit that to 5. So this is the counter example of counter class in collections of Python. Then there's DefaultDict class, default dictionary. It will allow you to avoid such error of key error if you call the dictionary value by key which doesn't exist in the dictionary. I have a separate video on other ways how to avoid that error, but one of the ways is to use default dictionary, which would give you the value in both cases where the key exists, and in the case where it doesn't exist in the dictionary, you can specify the fallback value. Then third class from that module of collections called Deque, double-ended queue. It will create a list for you which would be easy to append and prepend values. So there's append and there's append left function. So if you need to add more records to both ends of your list, that would be a good helper. Finally, a tuple with named fields or NamedTuple, where you initialize the tuple with these names. And then what it allows you to do is to have assignment of the field names like sleep duration, gender, and age like this. What it also helps us with is autocomplete, for example, in the IDE, but it also is faster. This is actually a general thing about collections module. Those operations not only shorten your code, but it's generally faster than working with default Python lists. So yeah, here on the screen you can see a full example with and without NamedTuple. This has autocompletion, this of course doesn't. And also when I was talking about performance, we can call getSize of both datasets, and you can see that NamedTuple contains fewer bytes, which means takes less of your memory. So yeah, these are 4 classes in collections module of Python. You don't need to run any pip install for that. It's just import collections from Python itself. Probably the most common example of that is still counter. I've seen it quite a lot used on Kaggle datasets and competitions and examples, but it may be beneficial to know the other ones as well. Do you use collections in your Python projects? Do you have any other real use case examples for that? Let's discuss in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel to get more videos like this one, and see you guys in other videos.